What you're about to see with Russell Westbrook is the same thing you see with Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, KCP, Bruce Brown, what have you.
Westbrook out there. Oh, he misses the layup.
If you're on the court with Nikola Jokic, you will look like a better basketball player. Point blank, period.
He's a career 30% three-point shooter. Oh, and now the denial.
It's a turnover. 2-on-1. Brown, Westbrook, no.
Yeah, the difference is Russell Westbrook hasn't been on a team with Nikola Jokic yet.
Nope.
Oh,
Stay patient, stay down.
Jokic.
Oh,
Nope.
I am so tired of having to talk about this bum. If you're a Westbrook fan with thin ass skin, you might want to click away and not watch this video because it's gonna get rough. I'm tired of Westbrook defenders out here acting like this man is not the constant problem every single place that he goes to. Whether he's with the Thunder, the Rockets, the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Wizards, this nigga has the same result every single fucking season, and somehow people still find a way to defend this guy? Nah, this nigga is just trash.
Hey. Hey.
On that beat. Nope.
Russell Westbrook's career post OKC has been a whirlwind of a roller coaster, my nigga. This is a guy that when he left OKC, he had just averaged the triple-double for 3 straight seasons, put himself in the pantheon of statistical greatness. And along with that, the man also won an MVP in 2017, so props to Westbrook, he's had a great run. But my issue with these Westbrook defenders, and even the Jokic nut huggers, because y'all enabled this shit for this season, is that y'all always get tricked into thinking a new situation will breed a different result, when at the end of the day, he's the common denominator in all these failed results. When are y'all just gonna wake up and realize that he is the problem? Let's take it back to his first pit stop when he was in Houston. I'll never forget the fact that Russell Westbrook had some of the most efficient games and stretches of his career when he was with the Rockets. From January until the season got shut down with COVID, the man averaged 32 points a game on 53% shooting from the field. Props to him. The most efficient player I've ever seen from a Westbrook stretch in NBA history. They gave him all the shooters he possibly needed by getting rid of Clint Capella because they didn't need 2 centers, right? Because statistically, Westbrook is the center. He's the paint beast. Let's get PJ Tucker at the 5. We got Rocco at the 4. He's got James Harden on the perimeter, an MVP caliber guy. And Westbrook was cooking until the playoffs started, where he was completely dog shit. In the first round, he damn near cost them the series against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's not forget the ending of that game 6. Oh my goodness, as somebody that lived in Houston, I'm from the city. I ain't gonna hold you, the collective near heart attack that everybody felt when that game was over was insane. I mean, the air ball was bad enough, but that turnover was fucking crazy. Who the hell were you passing it to? And let's not forget about Westbrook in the second round when they lost to the Lakers. He made that fake ass 3 on AD at the end of game 1 and everybody thought the Rockets had a chance. He was taunting Fred VanVleet's daughter in the crowd and all those TV screens. And then he proceeded to get bitched by LeBron James for the rest of the series. I think he got blocked like 4 or 5 times throughout that whole entire series. And Houston saw the situation, they knew they were cooked, and they had to move on. Then he goes to Washington and puts up his inefficient triple-double season, and props to him, it was still a good year overall, but let's be serious here, that Wizards team had a clear ceiling, and they went as far as Bradley Beal went, not Russell Westbrook. If you actually look at the record when Bradley Beal played, they were above 500. As compared to Russell Westbrook, when he played, they were below 500. But of course, the season was a wash. They lost in the first round and got demolished by the 76ers, and Russell Westbrook again played ass in the postseason. And truly looking back on it, Westbrook probably should have just stayed in Washington. I mean, sure, I do commend him for trying to pursue a championship, but at the end of the day, he wasn't winning a championship on a contender or a mediocre team, so he might as well have just stayed on the mediocre team, put up his stats that he loves and his fans love, and just leave it up to everybody's imagination if you could have won a championship after leaving Washington. But no, unfortunately, the GOAT, the king himself, LeBron, had to join the Westbrook sweepstakes. No, Bron, no. And I don't really gotta go too deep with the Westbrook LA tenure, but we all saw it. We were all on social media. We saw damn near every single game of shitty play from this motherfucker Russell Westbrook. And the things he did, the antics he threw after every single fuck up, it was truly amazing to me. I'll never forget the interview where Westbrook, I think he went scoreless in a game, or at least he didn't make a shot from the field. And then they asked him afterwards, hey, so how did you judge your performance? And the reaction was truly priceless.
For you personally, how would you assess your game tonight?
Solid. Solid.
but it's the way that so many fans, the Westbrook fans I should say, they acted like the Lakers purposely made Westbrook the scapegoat for no reason, and it's just ridiculous to me. He was the scapegoat, I agree, but the nigga deserved it. He was terrible with the Lakers. I don't give a fuck about them little 18, 7, and 7 stats or whatever the fuck he put up in that season in the box score. We all watched the games. We all saw him turn the ball over at a ridiculous rate. We all saw that nigga hit the top of the backboard on multiple different occasions on his shitty mid-range jumper. We all saw the mediocre defense he played, but yet we consistently heard excuses like Russell Westbrook's just not being given the opportunity. He's got to share the ball with LeBron. LeBron's got to be the one to step back for the inferior player. Insane how that works. But what's wild to me is that LeBron and AD did do that. They did take the step back for Russell Westbrook. He had the ball in his hands more than anybody else on the fucking team. He had a higher usage rate than Anthony Davis. He played over 20 more games than LeBron James. He had more than enough of an opportunity to prove that he could contribute to winning basketball, and unfortunately, he just could not do that. And it's not a coincidence that as soon as they traded him for just some decent role players, the Lakers got instrumentally better, which brings us to him going across the street to play with the Clippers next. And in the interest of true fairness, the Clippers tenure really wasn't as bad as a lot of people say it was, but it still wasn't that good. Let's be real here. I mean, we're talking about like a 13 to 12 point per game scorer throughout his time with the Clippers. He didn't really have that much of an impact. And in the playoffs, he was absolutely dog shit. I mean, I give him props for balling out against the Phoenix Suns in the 2023 first round series, but let's be serious here. He had a whole bunch of touches. He was truly the only threat on the team, and the Suns took advantage of that by letting him cook at times, as a lot of those games truly weren't even that close. And just look at how he started the series and how he ended the series. In game 1, he had 9 points on 3 of 19 shooting from the field. In game 5, the closing game, he had 14 points on 3 of 18 shooting from the field, along with 5 turnovers. The series didn't make me look at him any different. This was a typical Russell Westbrook series. And then last season, so many Westbrook fans were complaining about the Clippers cutting his minutes, especially when they went to go and get James Harden. I mean, so much uproar on social media from the Westbrook hive, as if the Clippers should have just passed on James Harden because of Russell Westbrook in 2023. Are we serious? And then when Harden got there, they were so pissed that Westbrook went to the bench. That's why I say his fans act like he probably should have just stayed in Washington so he could just fulfill his stats. They would have been able to make up a whole bunch of hypotheticals in their head that if he left to a better team, he could have won a championship, because the way they act online, they act like him playing and putting up numbers is more important than the team he's on trying to win games and pursue a championship. But of course, it wasn't a surprise to see what he did again in the playoffs last year. Another stinker of epic proportions, I would even say. I mean, 6 points on 26% shooting from the field, 23% from 3. Yikes. A big ass yikes. I mean, my expectations for playoff Westbrook are already pretty low, but it's never been that low. And now that brings me to this season with the Denver Nuggets. I think it's truly hilarious how the season has gone for Westbrook and Nuggets fans. Now, in the interest of fairness, I'm going to be real. I don't think Westbrook has been bad with the Denver Nuggets. I think he's been relatively decent, at best, decent. But the negatives are still clearly there. And come postseason time, the chickens will be back to roost. I mean, before we get to the recent obvious fuck up he had in Minnesota the other day, let's talk about what he's done on the season. On the season, he's averaging 13, 6, and 5 on 45% shooting from the field. So I give him props. Those are decent numbers, even though the efficiency overall ain't great, because he's still inefficient. He's got a 53% true shooting percentage. At the end of the day, the contribution has still been much needed from a Denver Nuggets team that's bench is filled with so much inconsistency, and even the point guard position got that too. Because I ain't gonna lie, that was definitely a stretch that Russell Westbrook was out playing Jamal Murray. I'm just saying. But you notice I said stretch, because he can have his good stretches, but my God, the bad stretches are so insanely bad, like the one he's on right now. Because since February, Westbrook's averaging 13 points a game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. It looks decent there, but he's shooting 40% from the field, 33% from 3, 62% from the free throw line, and 4 turnovers a game. I don't even think people understand just how insanely bad that is. For starters, when you look at the efficiency to be that low, it's such such a huge problem for a guy like Westbrook, especially at this stage in his career. Westbrook is already one of the more inefficient volume scorers of his era. And with that inefficiency obviously still being there, the volume is not enough to make up for it anymore. Missing layups that are high percentage shots, missing free throws that should be gimme buckets. It becomes more costly because those are shots that not only you should be making at a high clip, but you can't really make it up in any other way as a scorer because you're not a reliable three-point shooter. You're not a reliable mid-range shooter. Your jump shot gets respected by absolutely no defender in this league. And then you move on to the turnovers. To be averaging 4 turnovers a game over the last 20 plus games as a bench player is fucking crazy. Westbrook leads the Nuggets this season in total turnovers while being 5th in total minutes. And to make matters worse, this season Westbrook is 6th in turnovers. A bench player being 6th in turnovers is fucking nuts. He's around guys like Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, starting caliber players that have way more usage than Westbrook has right now with the Denver Nuggets. Which brings us to that boneheaded play that he made in Minnesota the other day. Not only do you smoke an open layup on a fast break, which is just fucking nuts, but then at the end of the game to foul a 3-point shooter is fucking insane. What goes through this fucking guy's mind, I have no idea. I've never seen a player that shows the ability to play at such a high level 1 minute and then plays like absolutely the worst player in the league the next. The lack of situational awareness is terrible. The decision making is terrible. The jump shot is terrible. The IQ defensively is terrible. But yet Nugget fans, it took y'all until this moment to realize that Westbrook was never gonna change. It doesn't matter if he's paired up with Nikola Jokic. I know y'all think he's God and he can just turn water into wine, but Westbrook is Westbrook. That will never change. I mean, look at all the great players he has played with in the past. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Paul George, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, James Harden, twice, Kawhi Leonard. It does not matter who is around him. The man is the definition of a lost cause. And the way he's been thrown around the league over the last 5 to 6 seasons like a thought is really all the proof you need.
Long pass. Westbrook out there.
Solid. Solid. Played hard. That's all you can ask for. Move on to the next one.